Sony's new A95K TV is the first in the world to use the new revolutionary QD-OLED technology. Expectations are sky high because it is not often that a brand new display panel technology reaches the consumer market. However, a new panel is not all the Sony A95K has to offer, so here are a few things you need to consider before buying it.
Now listen very carefully.
QD-OLED panel. Simply said, a QD-OLED panel is an OLED panel with a quantum dot layer in front of the blue pixels in place of the color filter used in traditional WOLED TVs. As a result, the QD-OLED panels offer the finest picture quality we've seen from OLED TVs so far. We'll talk more about the Sony A95K's picture quality later on in the video, so stay tuned. The A95K's QD-OLED panel is the most impressive feature. Sony appears to have improved the panel by including a heat diffusion sheet to better disperse heat, as well as temperature distribution mapping to help prevent image retention. Sony's Cognitive Processor XR, initially launched in 2021, plays a significant part in optimizing the QD-OLED panel, with an updated version of its flexible color contrast control function seemingly tailored to take advantage of the possible increased vibrancy made accessible by the new panel technology. Furthermore, a new depth map function has been added to help with depth perception by highlighting nearby items and subtly muting the background. Design. The Sony A95K doesn't veer too far from the norm in terms of design, despite its QD-OLED panel, but it does have a novel stand that allows it to lie flush against the table and conceals the stand behind the screen. The A95K's panel's back is nearly completely taken up by the electronics box. At the top, Sony makes provision for a Bravia camera to be mounted. This is not any regular camera though. To be specific, this camera comes with presence detection capabilities that could be used to gauge audience size and trigger appropriate volume/picture controls, in addition to features including video chatting and the ability to recognize movements. At the Input/Output I/O section, we discovered the expected 4 HDMI ports, 2 of which support HDMI 2.14K 120 and VR. We'll talk more about the connectivity features of the Sony A95K and what it means for gamers soon, so stay tuned. The Sony A95K as a whole is nicely constructed. It's sturdy and there are no obvious problems. The stand's base is metal wrapped in plastic, as are the display's borders, with everything else being premium plastic. So there's very little to complain about when it comes to design and build quality.
I mean, it's not really fine, it is what it is.
User interface. The Sony A95K is identical in hardware and software to Sony's Google TVs from the previous year, with Android 10 and the same SoC, MediaTek MT5895. In general, the Sony A95K offers a fantastic platform that is both easy to navigate and quick to use, making it simple to discover new content or pick up where you left off in your previous viewing session.
Well, that'll come in handy.
There is a Netflix app available, and it supports Dolby Vision and Dolby Atmos. All of the major music streaming services are also supported, as well as Disney+, Amazon Prime Video, and Apple TV, though Disney Plus lacks compatibility for Atmos. That being said, this channel is all about ensuring you get the maximum user experience with your home appliance. So if you want more videos like this, hit the subscribe and notification button to get regular alerts anytime we drop new content. Picture quality. When it comes to picture quality, we can confidently say the Sony A95K is one of the best we've ever seen. The A95K produces a nice, subdued orange warmth that progressively fades, but never completely disappears. This can be attributed to the new panel it employs.
So you can thank me later.
This new QD-OLED really shines when it comes to the bright highlights. You'll find that they are incredibly detailed and vibrant. In general, the few movies you can watch will not disappoint in terms of picture quality. Viewing angles are also superb on the Sony A95K. You can use it in a large seating area without any problems because everyone on all sides will get the same experience as those sitting in front. Gaming features. When compared to Sony's 2021 OLEDs, the A95K has nearly identical gaming specifications. However, VRR is supported out of the box. In addition, two 48GB per second HDMI 2.1 connections allow for 4K 120Hz gameplay on consoles like the PS5 and Xbox One X, as well as the newest PC graphics cards. Unfortunately, if you need EARC, Enhanced Audio Return Channel, for a soundbar or AV receiver, you'll only have one HDMI 2.1 input left. The PS5's Auto-Genre Picture Mode is supported by the Sony A95K in addition to ALM. The A95K doesn't have an HDG mode or a Dolby Vision game mode, but it does support Auto HDR tone mapping, which allows a PS5 to figure out what kind of TV is hooked up to it and choose an appropriate HDR tone map automatically. However, the input latency clocks in at 21 milliseconds, which is slower than some but still unnoticeable to the vast majority of players. So what do you think about these features? Do they appeal to you? Share your thoughts with us in the comment section. Sound quality. The Sony A95K makes use of Sony's Acoustic Surface Audio Plus technology, which is also present in all of the company's other OLED displays. Sony explains that, with Acoustic Surface Audio technology, sound comes directly from the screen. Two innovative actuators behind the TV vibrate delicately to create sound that moves within the picture so dialogue and special effects can be heard from precisely the right place.
That's some next level shit right there.
For the Sony A95K, larger actuators that are tailored for its new QD-OLED panel, and these actuators work in tandem with two subwoofers to produce booming low end. For a television, the resulting audio quality is excellent. The delivery also has a lot of clarity and detail. Moreover, the sound is related to the on-screen activity in a way that standard TVs can't replicate. QD-OLEDs provide a wider color spectrum and significantly higher color brightness. When combined with high picture quality and user experience, the Sony A95K truly stands out. However, it comes at a high price. The 55-inch now costs $2,498, and the 65-inch costs $2,998, which is over a $1,000 premium above its competitor, the Samsung S95B, so you might want to consider that before buying. If you want to learn more about the Samsung S95B, check out our next video. Thank you for watching.